One of the most peculiar eras in the history of the heavy transport industry was a few decades ago, between the 50s and 60s, when extraordinary models of enormous trucks could emerge from anywhere. From small fleets created by special orders to some prototype models that attempted to be mass-produced but never succeeded, many of these trucks transcended either because of their unique qualities or the context surrounding them, as in the case we will see below. To understand this particular story, we need to go back to 1969. At that time, transport regulations were not entirely settled. Furthermore, as is often the case even today with cases like Michigan and its extreme maximum load capacity, some states had much more flexible transport regulations. Due to this, numerous companies took advantage of the situation in states like California, where heavy road transport was open to endless possibilities. Companies like Bigge Dirige Company set out to acquire a high-performance unit, with which they could move enormous loads in open areas. This went hand in hand with the philosophy that the company has demonstrated since its founding in 1916, a time from which it has been dedicated to large-scale project logistics, moving large structures such as pipes and equipment for industries like oil and mining. It should be noted that this company was a major participant in the expansion and growth of the United States by transporting beams for the construction of the mythical Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. Precisely the type of work they were specialized in forced them to seek solutions of equal caliber. Although curiously, this solution came from a very unexpected place. Contrary to all logic, instead of being created by a renowned brand in the field, the truck they acquired was developed and manufactured entirely by a buggy and trailer manufacturing company called Peerless. To meet the challenge, the trailer company decided to bring together several of the most robust, reliable, and capable elements of the time in order to create this unique model unit with outstanding features, which they called the Roadrunner. To start, the body and chassis belonged to Kenworth models. However, these were evidently adapted, reaching a size similar to that of a train car, which made it look more like a mining dumper than a Class 8 truck intended for the North American market. Regarding the engine, despite the scarce information that has been recovered about it, it was a Cat 1676 diesel, corresponding to the 11.5-liter V8 scheme that the mythical brand of yellow construction equipment was just testing, with an estimated power of approximately 340 horsepower. Although this power has been questioned, the reality is that over the years this engine was widely used by Kenworth itself for heavy applications. It should be noted that this engine enjoyed a complete redesign compared to the previous model it replaced. That is why it had some components such as a turbocharger, aftercooling, and 4 valves per cylinder, technologies that were certainly novel for that time. Other novelties included the integration of an Allison automatic transmission, as well as Rockwell 4640 drive axles in the front, which provided traction in this group of 2 axles. As for its steering system, this truck was articulated as if it were a front loader, since the rear part was made up of a series of axles with a hydraulic coupling system for high-capacity trailers. This is where the importance of Peerless as the truck manufacturer lies, since this rear bogie had a special trailer suspension with 16 non-drive wheels, so it was ready to pull the heaviest loads. To demonstrate this, a locomotive was even loaded, which it hauled easily. After providing its services for many years, in the late 1970s, the Roadrunner passed into the hands of the company Emert International, who also specialize in the heavy transport of houses and small buildings. Although this unit was known during its time in Clackamas, Oregon, over the years its trace was completely lost, so its whereabouts are unknown, nor if it survived the passage of time. Regarding the companies involved, Peerless continued to perform in its field, becoming a highly specialized manufacturer of customized solutions for the oil, gas, forestry, construction, and mining industries, as well as for the transport of special and heavy loads in general. Despite the multiple administrative and ownership changes it has undergone, they were recently able to celebrate their 80th anniversary in 2024. As for Bigge Dirige Company, this company continues to operate as a leading supplier in the rental and sale of cranes, in addition to its professional services for load lifting products throughout the United States, now operating under the name Bigge Crane and Rigging, also known simply as Bigge in the San Francisco Bay Area, which is where they usually operate, in addition to their 20 national service centers. Like the Peerless Roadrunner, there are countless stories of heavy trucks that had potential, but for various reasons failed to stand out among a sea of transport solutions. Many of these were created to take advantage of the sparse regulations of the time, so they inevitably had to be abandoned when their qualities ceased to be advantageous. However, the lack of further documentation highlights how great stories can fall into oblivion. Although this sadly prevents them from enjoying the recognition they deserve, it is important to value each of these stories as fundamental pillars for the evolution of the transport industry, since each of these peculiar trucks has shaped the industry as we know it today.